Welcome back to the Stovetop. From time to time, I'll receive a suggestion for a video, but I don't always act on those suggestions. Sometimes it's something that just doesn't interest me, and other times I think about what I would have to do in order to shoot the video, and it's going to require more work or expense than I really want to put into a video, so I just don't act on suggestions very often. But then from time to time, I'll get a suggestion that I think is really good. It's something that interests me, or I'm there saying I can make this video without really taking a lot of extra time or expense. However, I might have a series of videos planned. I might have some things already scheduled. They're kind of time sensitive, a project I'm working on, or just have other things going on. So I may not have time to squeeze that video in. So what I'll do is I will create a new folder in the hard drive where I store all of my videos and title it whatever the request was about, maybe populate it with some links to some websites that I'm going to use for research, or maybe start putting some videos in there, or pictures for thumbnails or things like that. Just anything that I can put in right away and then get back to later. This Cocktails with Squib video is one of those suggestions that I put on the shelf for later. I checked the creation date for the folder in my hard drive marked Gentleman Jack, and it's a week short of being a year old. So about a year ago, somebody in the comment section or one of my YouTube friends through a text message suggested that I do a video on Gentleman Jack. I just don't remember who it was that made that suggestion. I'm finally now getting around to it. And as further evidence about some of my projects just setting around, I don't know if you can see it here, but at the top of the bottle, that's dust. This bottle has been setting around since the summer. So it's been setting around for between 6 and 9 months waiting to be opened. Tonight seemed like the time to finally get around to making this video. So what is Gentleman Jack Double Mellowed Tennessee Whiskey? What makes it different from Old No. 7 Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey? Well, they're both 80 proof, so it's not stronger. The real difference comes in the process to make Gentleman Jack. So both are Tennessee whiskeys, which by definition are mellowed through a column of sugar maple charcoal, which removes rough aromas and softens the whiskey. For Gentleman Jack, it goes through a 10-foot column of firmly packed charcoal twice before going into a new charred oak barrel for maturing. So if I understand this right, more or less, Gentleman Jack is just smoother than regular Jack Daniel's Old No. 7, which I like. So this should be really good. I'm really interested to try this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some Old No. 7 first, then I'm going to cleanse the palate with a lightly salted pretzel, and then I'm going to try the Gentleman Jack. I'll be having both of them straight at room temperature. All right, so off camera, I've removed the black plastic seal off of the twist-off cap for the Old No. 7. I've got a bowl of pretzels, and I've got 2 rocks glasses. The one for the Old No. 7 is an older rocks glass. I actually got 2 of these in a gift set with a bottle of Jack Daniel's years ago from a friend, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So I'll go ahead and twist off the black plastic cap here. The wrapper's still on the neck there. It's got the Old No. 7 logo on there. It's just a black wrapper. I'll just pour some of that. It's kind of light in color. And then for the Gentleman Jack, the cap doesn't have a seal on it, but it looks like it's a twist off. So let's go ahead and give it a turn. It feels like it's a metal cap. There we go. Just breaks the seal. That's darker in color. It's about twice as dark. So we'll start with Old No. 7. Got a sweet smell. Smells like whiskey. I can get the oak, and it kind of tastes a little bit to me like honey. That could be the caramel and vanilla, but it's not really that harsh. It does burn just a little bit going down. There is some harshness on the back end there, as far as it just leaving a little bit of a kind of an aftertaste, a little bit on my tongue. But overall, it's not bad at all. So now I'll go have a lightly salted pretzel. And through the magic of some half-ass editing, you don't have to hear me chomping on some pretzels. I decided to have a second one to make sure my palate was cleansed. Then the furnace decided to kick on, but this lapel mic should keep that background noise to a minimum. And to be honest, I think I've done like 6 takes on this part. So let me just get right to it. Let me start with the smell test on the Gentleman Jack. It smells a little bit different. Yeah, the old number 7 smells a little bit sweeter, maybe a little bit more like honey or vanilla. All right, let's try it. Okay, I can see how it tones down the harshness some. At first, it tastes a little watered down, but then towards the back end, it kind of tastes a little bit stronger. If I was blindfolded and you didn't tell me what these were, I would probably tell you that the Gentleman Jack is stronger, even though they're both 80 proof. In addition to the furnace running, now the compressor for the refrigerator has kicked on. This is what happens when you try to make videos in your kitchen, folks. But once again, the lapel mic should handle all that. So both of these did burn going down. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, when you say it burns, somebody might instantly think of rot gut. And neither one of these are rot gut. I have had more expensive, smoother whiskeys that didn't burn at all, but you're paying a premium, whereas these are kind of your average priced 80 proof whiskeys. So the Gentleman Jack didn't burn as quickly. Like as it was going down, at first it didn't burn at all, and then I could feel it. Whereas with the Jack Daniels, I could feel it right away. It also didn't burn as harshly. Not that the old number 7 was harsh. It really wasn't. It's not bad at all. Gentleman Jack to me is kind of different. I can see some similarities, or I can detect some similarities between these, but it's also different. So I can see how it smoothed it out some. They call it mellowing, right? So it smoothed it out some, but it's kind of also got its own taste. I mean, they both have the oak barrel kind of taste that you're going to get from whiskey, but this is just something different. So to close out the video, would I recommend Gentleman Jack? If you like Jack Daniels whiskey, you'll like this. It's smoother than old number 7, but to me, there's something different about the taste. Just a little bit different about it. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all. I can't remember what I paid for this bottle, so I went online and looked, and depending on the size, there's about a $5 to $10 price difference between old number 7 and Gentleman Jack. For some people, that's a lot of money, and for other people, it's $5 to $10. So I don't think that it's so much superior to old number 7 that I would replace it with this. I would drink either. I really would. If you offered me Gentleman Jack, I'm not going to turn you down. But I think maybe what I should do is revisit this in the future. Maybe do 1 or 2 cocktails with Squib videos where I try out a recipe or 2 off of the Jack Daniels website with Gentleman Jack and tell you what I think of it in a cocktail. Until then, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this. Thanks for watching.